Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Son of Mogef. I'm playing Besiege again today. Explanation. I need to do a quick one. For those of you that don't know, I fell down the stairs on Friday and broke 2 fingers on my right hand. Hence no videos over the weekend again. I wasn't going to do one today. They're actually killing me today. The swelling has gone down. They're almost like back to their normal size and shape, but it hurts like hell. Doesn't help that I fell out of bed during the night. That was the thing that I did. But so I wasn't going to make a video, and then I was sat and I was thinking, no, I'm not going to allow it. I'll do a video that's not too intensive on my hands, that I don't have to do a lot of movement. So what I'll do is another tutorial on Besiege. I've done 2 already. They're in the playlist, which you can click at the end of the video when the window comes up, the playlists and what have you. One was for basic building, one was building mostly with metal, and this one I'm going to do partly for the advanced building tool, and some stuff with weapons, just so you can see what it does. This is completely unscripted and completely unplanned. I only decided I was going to... What are you? Why are you here? Things. Anyway, I only decided I was going to make a video like 5 minutes ago, so this is going to be a little bit odd. I'm just going to do a quick recap of the basic building. If you grab any one of these parts, I'll just grab this one. This one will do. It's a small, light wooden part. You place with the left mouse button, and you rotate with R because it's a symmetrical block. You probably can't see it. Let me maybe pick another block like a wheel. Oh, I didn't actually mean to put that down. My apologies. If you press R, look, it rotates. And you press F, it does nothing. If you place it and then press F, it flips the direction. That's essentially how it works with every block. No matter what you put down, you can rotate it with R. Let me get something. Yeah, there you go. Cannons tend to be a bit strange. They tend to get placed at 90 degrees to the direction you actually want them to face. So while this ghost is up, you can just press R to rotate it, like so. And I don't think these are actually flippable. No, they're not. So these are one of the blocks that you have to rotate. Where wheels, you can rotate them, and you can place them and then flip them. Just as a quick reminder to people who haven't seen those first 2 videos. The other thing that I want to remind people of is this tool. This is your best friend. I was very clear about this in my previous tutorials. And this is the configuration tool. If I put just a regular block down, click the configuration tool, this block cannot be customized. It's not a customizable block. The wheels, on the other hand, can be customized. So if we click this and then we click that, we can change the button that makes it go forwards and backwards. We can set it to automatic, which makes it spin all the time. We can set it to on and off. So when you press up, it will essentially rotate that way until you press it again, and then it'll stop. And then it's auto brake, which I almost always keep on, because it'll just stop when you stop pushing the button. Look. So currently, if I... Oops! I moved the camera. If I push up, it rotates, and then it stops when I let go, because the auto brake is on. If I push down, it rotates the other way, and then stops because auto brake is on. Not a problem. Again, I just wanted to do that as a quick reminder. You can also change the speed and the acceleration. There are lots of other blocks that are customizable, like this one. This is a steering hinge. If I push left, it goes left. Oh, I'm looking at it in the wrong direction. My apologies. If you push left, it goes left, and if you push right, it goes right. And it only goes a certain way at a certain speed until you customize it. So I can set this to, I can either click and drag this like so. Oh, it can be a bit fiddly. What you can do is, if you're having trouble doing it with the mouse, you can just put a number in with the keypad, and that's fine. So now when I do this, look, it rotates a full 90 degrees in each direction. That's from this direction that it starts at. Then you've got the rotation speed, and you can change the keys like normal. Now, the thing that I would like to focus on, now that I've gone through the recap, so to speak, is this tool. If you click this cog here, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can change. Loads and loads of things. You've got like the cheaty things down here for God mode and zero gravity and unbreakable and infinite ammo and all that kind of thing. You've got the visuals and the stuff for the graphics settings. This tool is the one that I'm going to be focused on. This is the advanced tool. Now, if you take a look across the top here, this is the translate button. You can use this to move up and down, left and right, or X, Y, and Z axis. This to rotate like so. That puts it on the floor. This is actually quite a useful button, believe it or not. While I'm building, I have this tendency to lift the machine up, and then just before I press space, I tap that to put it on the floor. Just to make buildings easier. This is the symmetry button. This is the delete button, which I can't do. Hang on a minute. Like this. I can just go, boop, get rid of that. That's the configuration button. That destroys the whole vehicle. If I just move a thing, like make a thing rather, like that, I can go boop and just get rid of it all. Reset it to the default. This is the key mapper that tells you what keys you've set to what blocks. Now, if you notice across the top of here, this will change when I push advanced. Now, this is still the translate. The translate tool, only it translates a single part instead of the entire thing. Again, if I just build nonsense for a sec, like this, take that off. Again, it moves the whole thing. With the advanced tool on, I can select an individual part and move that separately, like so. It's not really a thing. You can, as you may have noticed, detach the blocks with it. It can be really very useful. I use this quite a lot. If you look at this number here as well, you can change this. I'll just put it on that for now. That's how far each step will move it. If you look now, look, it moves a lot smoother. You can get a much finer degree of movement with it. This one is, again, if I take the advanced mode off, this is rotate. It rotates the whole thing. I forgot to put this block back where it was. There we go. If I put the advanced building mode on, this rotates just one block. Again, I can select the block I want to use, and I can rotate it. Boop, boop, like that. See? I don't know what I think this is. It's just a bit of nonsense I've made for demonstration. You just go boop, boom, 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 boom. You can, I mean, you can even do weird things with it. And again, if you change this number here, and I'll put it at like, I don't know, 5, that's degrees, 5 degrees, and then select a block, it moves in a lot, it's got many more degrees of movement to it. So this orb is what you need to pay attention to when you're moving it. The green is the X, and then you've got Y, and then you've got the Z axis, or Z depending on where you're from. You can do like some really interesting things with these, like there you go. It's now a leg. I don't know why I felt the need to do that. It's just an example. So again, that can be very useful, and I'll show you specific examples of how I've used it in a moment. Let me just I don't know why it didn't destroy the whole thing, but anyway, I'll just put that block back. What I've got here, this is the symmetry block. Now this can wait, no, that's symmetry. This is mirror. I don't know if the thing that I've built is going to help with this. If you click this, you can see from the middle here it's changing. It's changing. All it does is flip it on a plane, depending on which one of those colors that you pick. Like this one will turn it upside down. That one, again, you wouldn't notice the difference because it's just flipping it one way and another. It not entirely useful. If you find your machine is facing backwards, you can use this to flip it over the right way, but I don't use this very often. This is the bog standard, everyday, normal configuration tool. It's exactly the same in both advanced and normal building modes. You've got that. I never use this. I think this is just for skins. You can just change the appearance of a block, I think. This one's quite useful. Again, if I just get rid of everything. If I select all of these, look, you can build in multiple planes at the same time. It's just a quicker way of building. And you can turn certain ones off. You know, it's not mirroring over here anymore. It's only mirroring here. So it's the X, Y, and Z axis again. Like, it's, yeah, just like I say, a quick way of building things. Again, I don't use this very often. If I'm building a frame for something, or for some machine I'm making, I'll tend to save it. For instance, if I just go here, look, I've got a basic frame. I can just load it up rather than rebuild it each time. But if I wanted to rebuild that thing that I just had, I can do it with this tool fairly easily. Like, there you go, like so. Like that, and then that isn't exactly how it was, and then I can put the grabbers on. Again, if you've seen my building with metal tutorial, you can see why I've put the grabbers down and I've set things up like this. Put those ones in there if I really want to, and then I can just add the wheels. It just makes things a little bit quicker if you're building from scratch, which I very rarely do, unless I've had some kind of weird idea. This button is on or off. This is something that can actually be very useful and also a little bit confusing. It allows the intersection of blocks. Again, this is something I spoke about in my previous videos, where if a block is going into another block, then you're not allowed to place it. If you click that, it disables it, so you can put two blocks that, you know, bump into each other. Let me see if I can do a demonstration here. I'm not even actually sure if this... Oh, I've got the symmetry on. Really want that to happen. So I can grab a block like that and a block like that. And if I rotate this like so, it's not a problem. But then I shouldn't be able to put another block here because it's intersecting this one. Unless I push that, and then I can put it down. So you can have blocks in blocks. It can be useful if you know how to use it properly. As always, I suggest just messing around with this stuff to see what you can do with it. It's definitely a good idea to get hold of the basics first. And again, the best way to get to get a grasp on the basics is just to build things that don't work, laugh, and then rebuild them until they do work. But with these advanced tools, you can actually build things which are pretty interesting. I'll just go through quickly. Damn, my hand is freaking killing me and I'm barely even using it. Excuse me, I've just clicked both my knuckles on my broken fingers. So let's have a look at some of the weird things that I've managed to build with this. Let's have a look, see if I can find one in particular. Something like this. You notice these blocks have been rotated, so I can put them in a circle without having a continuous progression of blocks. So all I've done is like put a block down, selected the advanced mode, clicked this, selected the block, and then just turned it round a little bit. And you just keep going until you've got a circle, delete the blocks that are in between, and you know, Bob's your uncle. You've got a bunch of you've essentially got a circle in a game that only used to let you build things in squares, which is kind of cool. This one's a little bit on the crazy side. Look, I think I built this for one of the earlier levels where you've got to cut all the grass down in a particular time. I just made this and drove it into the field and it works. There's that. One of the other things that I built using like the rotation tools, if I can find that one. I've got so many weird things in here that it's actually pretty bloody ridiculous. This is my sad attempt at making the locomotive from Far Lone Sails. It's just like a frame so far, but you can see I've made a wheel out of blocks that you wouldn't normally be able to make circles with. I don't know if this thing even works. There you go. I made a wheel out of things that aren't supposed to be wheels. And you know, you can do that. Oh god, it's falling to pieces. As you can tell, it's not finished. It's barely even started. But this circular shape is a good example of how you can put things in places and in orientations that you normally wouldn't be able to without these advanced tools. Have a look. There was another one that was just like a little experiment that I made. This one. You can see I've put these on an angle using the rotation tool. I've just put them so they were going straight and then pulled it round so that it was a roughly triangular shape. This one's actually pretty funny. What I've used is in the weapons section, there's these water cannons. I don't know why it's not showing the names of them, but this is a water cannon. If you put a torch under a water cannon, it heats it up so steam comes out of it instead of water, which means I can there you go, I can use it for steering if I really want to. This, oh god, this thing really doesn't go backwards. It's got like no reverse gear. I steered into a bomb. I did that. That was a thing that I did. Yeah, so you can use it's literally called steam powered, but you can see from the shape of it I've had to use the advanced tools. And you can just play around with it. This is another one that I've got, is a work in progress that doesn't really work. It's supposed to be a gyro bike. The idea is that when these wheels turn, it spins this outer wheel and these stay still. It like transfers torque. Doesn't currently work, I don't think. Look. It does what they call in the industry gerbling, where it goes up and over the top. It's not supposed to do that, but again, you can see that I've made a ring of blocks using that rotation tool. And yeah, this stuff is oh my god. Yeah, I've got like a talk engine here as well that I'd forgotten was in there. My sad attempt at, trying to get it to steer can do that. So it can go forwards. That isn't a good example, is it? Wait. Go forwards, and it can go backwards, and it can go left and right, but it also it tips over like a lot. So again, a work in progress, just something I've been messing about with using these advanced tools. And I suggest you do the same. If you're all going to play this game and you're going to enjoy it, absolutely, just play and see what you can get to work. Yeah, as an aside, to the things that are being built, you can use them to create quite interesting designs with the weapons. That was the wrong thing that I loaded. If I load up this, you notice that this is on a bit of a slant. It's not 90 degrees. I've also just noticed this last bit is sort of in the wrong place. Let me see if I can fix that. If I just bring it up a little bit, that's where it should be. Let me bring that up. That looks better. So you can build something like this that's on a slant, and then again, this is another work in progress. What I've done here is attach some springs to a block back here. I forget what the block is called. What's it called? Son of Mogeth. It's that block. It detaches. It's a detacher. It joins two blocks together, and then when you push the button, it detaches. That's essentially what it is. There is some like force behind it, but it's decoupler. There you go. That's what it's called. It does say explode. It doesn't really explode. It just kind of pops. But what I can do is if I push L, it'll retract these springs and decouple at the same time, so I can do things like this. It just flings fire at the enemy for funsies. It's also pretty useful for making things like this. You notice this vehicle's got tank tracks on it, or just tracks. You can just do that. And it's not hard to see how I've done that. If I maybe get rid of some of these blocks so you can see. Again, I've put a hinge down, attached a hinge to it, attached a hinge, a hinge, a hinge, a hinge. But when I've got round to hinge there, I've just rotated it like 45 degrees. Then that one another 45, so it's perpendicular to this one. And then that one's gone 45 degrees, and then go back the way you came and all the way back round again. And you can make tank tracks, which is like super cool. I wish there was like a track block that was its own like discrete, unique was a better word I should have used. It's its own unique block. But I mean, these work, and the amount of bizarre and oh god, something broke. And bizarre and interesting things that you can make with these is limited only by your imagination. Which is, again, one of the reasons why I've done these tutorials. A lot of people on the forums, especially recently, with this game coming out of early access and adding new levels, have been like, how do you build things? Why is everything pointing in the wrong direction? Why am I going in circles? The cannons don't face the right way. And so, yeah, the original tutorials that I did, and that was, I think, 2 years ago now, which it tended to be just for friends, but apparently, other people have found them useful, so I'm happy about that. You can make weird and wonderful things like this thing, or, I don't know, let me find one of my other weird and wonderful things. I guess I mean, it's literally just your imagination that limits what you can and can't do in this. I mean, I've displayed some of these before in other videos, and they're all insane. They're all absolutely loony. Recently, this is a thing that I've been using for a long time. You'll recognise this from my videos. What I did was I put these metal plates on. They're in the armour section here. And when you put them down, you notice this little point here is facing downwards. And I thought it'd be better if the flat part was on the flat ground. So I just loaded it up, brought it here, give it a bit of a rotation, like so. That's not exactly right because it's on 5 instead of 10, so it's, you know, not exactly right. I'm sure you get the idea. So the flat bit is facing downwards, and it gives it a little bit more grip. Not that much better, especially since it's on a thing where the legs rotate. It does help a little bit. A tiny little bit. That was way more destructive than I was actually anticipating, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So if I'm going to leave it there. Like I say, I'm actually in a lot of pain right now, and this video is actually longer than I was intending it to be. So if you guys do play this and you want to know more about how a thing functions, I might do a video just going through the weapons and how to use them. But I feel like I've kind of covered most of them in the videos that I've done of the gameplay, so a specific tutorial isn't in the works unless somebody requests it, and then I'll, do one. Yeah, like I say, if you want to know how a particular thing works, or how to build a particular thing, or do a particular thing, or if you've got trouble on a level, oh my god, this is a thing I built ages ago, let me know, and I'll do my best to help you out. I just, whatever encourages people to play this game, I think it's grossly underrated, to be fair. I love these weird physics games, and I think people should play them more. I really do. Oh, this is actually not a bad example of how to use these weapons. As I mentioned, these water cannons, if you put a torch on them, they heat up and shoot steam instead of water. And I've actually made like a cannon out of it. If I can remember the buttons, look, I can tilt it like that, and you can see that it's full of bombs. I think these are remote bombs, and you can open the frontlet. And again, this hinge, I've just allowed it to rotate. Oh, I burnt it. I rotated it too far and burnt it. But this hinge, yeah, it rotates more than it normally would, because I used the configuration tool to make it do that. But also notice these are turned inwards a little bit. They're slightly rotated. And the idea is that the steam will push all of these out and at the enemy. See if I can remember how to do that exactly. That button! There we go. Oh, I screwed that up. I pressed space accidentally. Damn it. Like that. And then, again, steam powered. Like so. Now all the bombs are on the floor. I can press K and just detonate them. Like, oh, it looks like there was a few actually inside the vehicle still, but again, it's pretty much just a shotgun on wheels, really. It's just a thing that I made, so I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm not sure how people are going to receive it. It's not the most exciting video I've ever made, but like I say, I'm doing the best with what I have to work with right now. I dread to think how tomorrow's going to go, but I'm going to rest up. I'm going to take me painkillers, and use the anti-inflammatory cream stuff that the nurse at the hospital gave me when I went in, and hopefully, you know, tomorrow is 2-Video Tuesday and everything will go swimmingly. Being son of Mogef, it probably won't. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget you can like and subscribe. I've got plans to do a live stream soon. I want to let my hand heal up a little bit more before I go into that. I wanted to do one today, but it's not going to happen. It's just ow. That's all I'm just going to say. It's just ow. So, again, suggestions, comments, ideas in the comments section. And I'm Son of Mogef. This is Besiege. I will see you tomorrow.